I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Angel Silversong. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, a little nervous, but it comes with the process as always.
Don't worry about that. And you probably have tougher audiences just waking up in the morning. This is going to be so easy. First, introduce yourself to everybody, please.
My name's Angel Silversong. I'm a Phantom of the Opera VTuber, and it's nice to meet you all.
It's nice to meet you too. Phantom of the Opera. Is that something that's been a big part of your life?
My grandmother, before she passed away, rest her soul, she actually introduced me to it when I was in high school, when I was going through depression.
Yeah. So did you kind of associate yourself with one of the characters?
The Phantom.
And did you watch? How many times have you watched the?
Over 1,000. the musical movie, the 2004 one, I believe.
Yep, 2004. And how many times have you played the CD or played the songs from it?
Oh, so many times it's hard to count.
Well, I give you credit because you're hardcore.
I'm trying to get into the other movies as well, like the original black and white one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there's definitely a difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's good that you found something that you can kind of relate to, and use it. And then you still get to use the Phantom of the Opera through your VTubing too.
Yeah, before I went and commissioned for the models and stuff like that, I had to look up to make sure it was copyright free, so I didn't get possibly sued for it. And what's in my luck? It's in the public domain.
Yes, yeah, that's why people can do all sorts of different things with it. There's been like rock operas done to it too, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
They're not very good, but they are out there. If you're going to be a completist, you pretty much have to watch them. So, but it's
Exactly.
when people when they get really invested in something like that, really do, and it really must have meant a lot to you.
Mm-hmm. I plan on getting a tattoo in the future, like Phantom of the Opera themed.
With the Phantom and the mask, or something else along those lines.
I'm still debating.
That's neat. Now, with all of that, were you somebody who wanted to do that yourself, get up on stage like the folks in Phantom of the Opera?
Oh, I always wanted to be a theater actor, but I have I would say disability, at least for me, that causes severe pain in my feet if I stand for too long.
Ow.
So I can't really do acting on stage because of that.
Oh yeah, that would pretty much limit what you're able to do,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. But how about writing or anything along those lines?
Oh, I have severe anxiety when it comes to writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whenever I try to write something down, I start panicking right away, and I don't have the patience for art.
Yeah, I don't have the talent for art. I have all the patience in the world, but my art, I tend to, you talk about people suffering for their art. I tend to have like major injuries.
Ooh,
I tend to
that's not good.
Yeah, like when I draw a stick figure, I get hit by lightning. That type of stuff. That's
Yeah.
not really good. But with that, how did you get into streaming and VTubing?
Well, I was just bored one day and decided to stream on Mixer, if you remember that site.
Oh yeah. And
It was really fun streaming on Mixer.
yeah.
But I only streamed for a couple weeks and then I stopped because I was dealing with IRL stuff.
Hmm.
And this was, of course, after I graduated high school when I started streaming.
So,
And then I decided to get back into streaming again because I was told that if I wanted to get a model with the help of my dad, which I'm very gracious, he's helping me pay for the stuff because I
hmm,
don't have the money.
right.
I'm very lucky when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so is this,
And my fiance.
yeah. Yeah, and the fiance is the lucky one. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
they know that. Um,
He does.
yes. So is this kind of a bit of therapy for you? You'd say?
It helps with my ADHD,
Well,
like when I'm bored and stuff, and it just helps me relax and not distress,
right,
de-stress.
right.
That's the word.
Yeah, decompress.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that. It does it allow you to kind of show off a side that you normally wouldn't show?
It depends on what game I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
I usually play RPGs and visual novels,
Mm-hmm.
so I try to avoid rage quitting games because I
Right.
really hate rage quitting.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do, uh, but I found out I liked actually shooter games
Mm. So what
like Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead? Oh, yeah, that's shooter
Yeah,
games and horror games involved at the same time.
and I usually don't like horror games, at least playing wise.
Yeah. You know, will you watch
But
people
it's
playing
actually
them?
really fun. Oh, I love watching people play horror games.
You'll you'll not mind if somebody else gets jump scared and scared witless, but you don't want to do it yourself.
I tried, but my body starts shaking and I physically can't move.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I know how that goes. I'm not good with horror type stuff. Whether it's jump scare or the going for the long con. I to me, I just if I go on there to blow things up, I want to just go blow things up.
mm-mm.
And if I'm going to dare to do a puzzle game, I'll do the puzzle game. Just don't jump at me. I want
Just
I want it to be relaxing as possible. Thank you very much. Of course, I know I'm an old guy too. Probably jump scares probably wouldn't do good for my overall health. That type of thing. Um,
mhm.
so when you got started, was it was it easy for you once you turned the microphone on to kind of settle in and get comfortable?
Well, at first I got stage fright a little bit, but it gets easier over time when you do it.
Hmm.
Just like with anything, really.
Yeah,
It's it just comes naturally
yeah,
after a while. Some people, I'm sure it doesn't.
yeah. Well, for some people, it's very tough to get in front of any audience at any time. But
Hmm.
with this, you've got kind of the help of a model to where you're at least kind of deflecting it a little bit. Um, but you still get to be yourself at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing into the character that you're playing, which I don't. I don't role play as my character while streaming. I know some people do, which props to them. I would never be able to hold that up.
Hmm. You, you'd be the have to wear a mask while streaming, and that would probably wouldn't help you with the actual video game.
Nope. I wear glasses, so it'd be 10 times worse if I put on a mask.
You'd be the first Phantom with glasses. I would half mask and half lens. The mask would stay on a lot easier that way.
It would.
Yes.
It would
Um,
just be very expensive to get because you would have to get it custom made so you don't screw over your glasses by
oh, that's true.
scratching them.
That's true, and you have to get the prescription lenses too for it, so you can't just buy it at the store. I'm gonna. I think you just come up with a product idea though. You you can let some of the local optometrists. That's the word I'm looking for. Optometrists know
Mm.
that you'd like to start off a line of combination masks and glasses. See if that takes off. You can get credit for the designs for that one. With the games that you're playing right now, what are the games that you like to have on stream?
Mostly like visual novels and RPGs, excuse
Hmm.
me there. Like Fire Emblem, um, Our Life, those type of games.
Hmm. And the are those the games that you played growing up?
Well, Our Life is a newer game, but Fire Emblem definitely growing up, as well as Final Fantasy and stuff like that, and Kingdom Hearts.
Hmm. Yeah, and then all of that is kind of in the same genre, you think?
Our Life is not in the same genre because it's pure visual novel,
Hmm.
but the other ones are like RPGs, I believe they're called, where the RPGs made in Japan.
Hmm. Yeah. Would
Sure, they got differences in them, but
yeah. If would you rather play a game like a visual novel where you kind of, no matter how you're going in the game, you're kind of herded into the general ending, or would you rather have a game that has a lot of different endings and depends on every choice you make?
huh. Well, if it's a first playthrough, I prefer singular endings because I could get overwhelmed
Hmm.
with the multiple endings.
Right.
But if I have a guide to go through it so I can get all the endings properly, then multiple ending.
Mm. Yeah. Some folks enjoy that, like the Danganronpa series for one thing. You kind of uh, you kind of forced to kind of go along with what happens pretty much no matter what your choice is. Eventually, you're going to end up in the same place. It's just the travel that makes the story. Um, but
Exactly.
yeah, and some folks rather have some chances, like the Fallout series, to have a whole bunch of different endings. But you kind of like to stick with the one ending for the most part.
Most part one ending because it can be satisfying because I know, hey, if I do this, it's gonna lead to an ending
Yeah.
no matter what, unless I die in the game.
So what have you wanted to stream but you haven't gotten to yet?
Let's see, the new Dragon Age game I want to stream, but I don't have a PC for that, sadly, at the moment.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and that does cause problems when you want to play a PC game without a PC. That
Yep. Or I don't have a PlayStation 5 to stream it, so there's no way around that.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit before you're back in the saddle again, unfortunately. Um,
Mm.
get that up and
But
going.
I also want to play like plug and play games, if you remember those.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they basically are a joystick with a plug-in.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's some of those are I've really wanted to try out, like the ones that are supposed to be like the arcades, like the Pac-Man ones and that type of thing. But
Yeah, there's a SpongeBob one that's mini arcade games.
yeah, yeah, I would like to try some of those because they're when I grew up in the arcade years where we would go out to these video games and throw
Hmm.
millions of quarters at them. But when they were, and really those games now in comparison to any game you bring home is hardly any programming at all. But if you try to play like a game on a controller that doesn't really work right for the game, there's not a very good experience. And sometimes these
Yeah.
controllers really help you out with that. Like playing Pac-Man on a Wii controller really doesn't work.
Oh, oh boy.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work right. And but playing it with the joystick, then you've got all of the old moves that you thought you were doing right as a kid,
Hmm.
and I wasn't. But or like Donkey Kong, for example, the original game, you need to have the certain buttons in a certain order in order to do all the tricks correctly. And if you got it on a weird console controller, it's just not going to work right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what type of, do you already have
Uh,
a few of those games?
my mom had the SpongeBob one I mentioned before. It's basically SpongeBob's face,
Yeah.
and this is gonna sound a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean, for some people, but it's his nose. That's the controller, and it's just a big stick.
Well, that makes sense for SpongeBob.
Yeah, but it can be a little inappropriate. But
uh,
and
uh,
I had the My Little Pet Shop one actually that was full of mini games and stuff like that, but you collected different pets and stuff like that, and you could if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, it's been years since I played it, but you
yeah.
could dress them up and stuff.
Oh, I never heard of that one before. What does it come with just regular keyboard control, or what does it do?
It's so basically it's a controller with a thumb and two buttons if I remember correctly.
Uh-huh.
A a a, a stick controller and
Oh.
it's like clear. I can't remember,
Uh,
but it's purple and bluish color.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I have one somewhere. I
Yeah.
just have to figure out how to get it to work with my PC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to be the thing, and you or get it to work on something that you can get the screen captures from.
Hmm.
Because a lot of those were built to stick into old televisions, and you can't.
Exactly.
Like my first computer I got, I had this giant tube television I stuck it into. You can't even find one of those that works nowadays, let alone be able to hook up your computer to it. Uh, so have you got your sight set on some other types of games like that, the plug and plays?
I know there's a bunch out there and I want to get them, but again, I don't have the income to
Yeah,
buy any of them at the moment. I'm trying to find a way to get income, but
yeah.
you know how difficult it can be.
Oh, I absolutely do. I was in radio.
Really?
Yeah, income doesn't really come for you in radio very very much. The work hours, yeah, free stuff occasionally. The actual pay, not so much, not so much, especially these days, unfortunately. But the those types of games you might be able to find, used on eBay or something might be helpful.
Yeah, they're on eBay. I've checked.
Yeah, there's something. I know Pac-Man had at least one. Spider-Man. Um, there's probably a couple more. Some of those games you can only get on those controllers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they just
I
weren't ported to anything else.
I remember playing them on my Disney Princess TV, if you remember those, where
Oh
they had
yes,
the blue with the crown as the speaker and stuff like that that could disattach.
yes. That's perfect. And if you just find a Little Mermaid game to go with it, it would have been absolutely perfect.
Exactly.
You can stay under the sea and still have your Disney princess surroundings complete. That would be absolutely perfect. So
Mm.
what are you wanting to do with the channel right now? Are you um, well, first of all, getting back on once you get the computer back and going. Um,
Of course.
yeah, after that, what's your goal?
My goal is to find a way to grow enough to make merch for people
Mm,
because I have ideas like an inside out skirt where you can wear it both ways but have different designs on it, or like same way with the jacket.
mm,
I want to do merch ideas and also figures and plushies and stuff like that.
mm. Do you want to design them?
Oh, I'm having an artist help me with that.
Mm, that's cool. So you've got the ideas though.
Just
Mm,
not the money or the income to provide it.
mm. Well, you're still way ahead of me because I don't have the talents to do anything like that. For me, it's if I was to do something along those lines of clothing, it would be gray sweatshirt, gray sweatpants. I'm
Hey,
perfectly
it's not
fine.
comfy.
Hey, gray goes with everything, especially getting old.
Exactly.
And it really goes with that. If you could grab a game right now and game that you don't have on the shelf and play it online for an audience, what would that game be?
I have just a game. It's called Thrillville Off the Rails for the Wii.
Okay. What's that all
It's
about?
a roller it's a roller coaster game
Mm.
where you would go to different roller coaster worlds and put down different like attractions and stuff and you could ride them. And it was so fun. I got it for the DS and it's completely different compared to the Wii version.
Mm. Not quite as spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. It's so do you do that to first of all, do you do it to keep going with the game or do you do it to make people crash and burn?
It's it's not like the tycoon game
Yeah.
where you can actually kill people in it. It's more of a it's more of a build rides and make sure they fit
Wow.
and stuff like that.
Wow.
But it's really fun seeing the different rides and 3D models of them and
Yeah.
stuff like that and be able to ride them.
Yeah. Are there ways to? I mean, do you have to follow a certain physics to make sure they ride correctly? Or I mean, are there some ways that it's just not going to climb that particular straight up hill that you make?
It's more like they're pre-made
Mm.
and you have to make sure they fit in, you're putting them in the correct spot. But there's also tasks with staff and stuff to make sure you clean up everything.
Yeah. And that's
It's
where
actually really fun.
yeah, I would enjoy that, except for the cleaning up stuff. I like get somebody else. Please do that. They can get the people who are doing the power wash simulator to come power wash my
Exactly.
place. Get it done with. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, can you you're basically kind of building a park then, I guess.
You're building multiple theme parks because there's multiple worlds.
Mm.
Like there's a candy world. That's all I remember.
But there's different themes and different worlds.
Yes.
Okay, so you can go in there and try to. So do you get graded on how you put it together, or what's the goal?
The goal is to rebuild the theme park.
Hmm. And
And I don't remember anything else but that. But I just remember having a lot of fun and wanting to beat it.
yeah, yeah, it does sound like it'd be a lot of fun. It's certainly one that would take your mind off things for a long time.
Mm,
You get into that and then you wake up like snap out of it a couple hours later, realizing that you're late for everything else.
exactly. It was fun to do as a kid.
Yeah,
And I want to play it again.
yeah. Well, why not? Just get it there and get it going. What are you
We did.
enjoying? What are you enjoying the most about streaming?
I enjoy chatting with people. I'm still a small streamer. I only reached 300 not too long ago.
Yeah,
So not many people join my chat, but it's fun when they do.
yeah, yeah. Is it easy for you to play the game and chat at the same time?
Oh yeah, it always depends on the game. If it's a visual novel, then 100% easy. If it's a fighting game where you can pay attention to the chat, like fighting meaning RPG, so you could play like Kingdom Hearts as long as there's not a cutscene going on,
Right.
then
Yeah.
it's easy to pay attention to chat. But if it's a full game like Left 4 Dead or anything like that, then it's more difficult.
Oh yeah, because you don't have any pauses in that one. You got to keep
Nope.
you got to keep going, otherwise they're just gonna leave you dead, which is kind of the topic of the game. You have to go from there, but it's been easy for you then to adapt to having an audience, or did it take a while to get used to it?
It's easy. As I mean, as I said, I streamed before. I got back into streaming. It was a little nerve-wracking, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
when it becomes fun, it's easy to ignore those nerves.
yeah,
And after a while, they go away.
yeah, that's absolutely true. And have you just found that what you're able to do on stream has carried over to what you do off stream at all?
Well, I drink more water than I used to.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about interacting with folks? Has it been a little different now that you know that you're able to talk with people around the world?
Not at all. I still get anxiety. It's
Yeah,
easier to talk online
yeah,
than it is in person for me.
yeah. Well, that's absolutely true. I know when I was in radio, sometimes I'd have audiences of a couple thousand folks that I know were listening, but if you put me in a
Hmm.
room with 10 people, I would want to run away. I don't want to see the people talking to me. Um, but if you got a microphone in front of me, I'll talk to anybody. That's easy.
Hmm.
That's the easy part, and overcoming that is not too is not very easy. Sounds like to me you didn't have any problem though. Once you got in, you got settled pretty quick.
I did.
Wow. So was that surprising to you?
No, I mean, experiencing the same thing over again, though it had been a few years since I had streamed.
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me. It just, felt natural.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's very good. So once you get everything back up and going again, what's the first thing you're going to stream?
Definitely Dragon Age.
You can hear the
I gotta
pain.
avoid the I gotta avoid those spoilers though.
Yep. Yep. You're gonna have to be very careful as to what you read. I can hear the pain in your voice from because well, I got to let folks know we talked a little bit before we started the interview, and
We
the
did.
the first thing that comes up is my computer doesn't work. I can't play Dragon Age. So we're no spoilers, please. Don't let the angel know about any spoilers for Dragon Age. It's just it's
Apparently a couple people have already beaten it.
no, I haven't heard anything about that. Doesn't happen. Not true. It's this just just add that to the expectations of getting that game in there for the first time.
Mm,
Hopefully, I really hope for your sake that the game lives up to those expectations.
I hope so too. I definitely there. Have you heard of the My Sims series?
Oh yes, yes I have.
And now that's coming to the Switch, at least two of them.
Yep, yep,
I definitely want to stream those games as well.
yeah. Those are pretty fun to watch. I had
Mm.
the first Sims game when it came out, and after playing through it a few times, I was stuck in different ways to kill off my characters. And
No, the game's called My Sims, not The Sims.
oh, okay, so it's different than that then.
It's the Sims. The My Sims is about creating a community and bringing people back into the town you just moved into.
Oh, okay.
My Sims Kingdom is about rebuilding multiple kingdoms and worlds.
Oh,
So
all
that
right.
way they come back to being how they originally were
Mm.
were.
So you're world
And then
building. Yeah,
My Sims 5 is where you're a spy.
yeah, yeah. I would still find a way to destroy it. It's almost done.
I
That's just the way I am. Win the game and then try to break it some way and do it either easier or harder, one way or the other. Yeah,
wish.
but well, hopefully you'll get that computer up and going real soon, so we can hear you enjoy yourself on Dragon Age, and it's going to be the best game you've ever played. I'll tell you that right now.
Obviously, no. My favorite game to play is actually Fire Emblem Fates, even though a lot of people did not like that game.
Yeah, but
I really enjoy it, even with the children you can get in it. I enjoy that aspect, even though people don't like that aspect.
Yeah. People don't want children in their games. Kids, no, I don't want any of that stuff.
They can become extremely overpowered.
Well, if it's overpowered on my side, then I'll take it.
Exactly.
If it helps me win, I will definitely take it. Absolutely fun to talk with you, and thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna have your links up in the description for this interview, and once you get up and going and get some more things happening, let me know, and we'll come back again and talk some more. Okay?
Yeah, that should be fun. I should be getting my PC back next month.
Yep.
And then I can fully show you my model.
Sounds good. Thank you, Angel. Appreciate it.
It was fun.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.